Hey, sweet souls, welcome back to the Changelicious podcast. Today, we're going to dive into something extremely meaningful. And this is based upon request and also based upon a lot of years of experience and really a condensed version, a condensed episode on how to shift from not being successful, being extremely overwhelmed, to boosting your success. I wish I'd known this way earlier. So today I want to spill all the tea about the 5, how did I call it? The 5 most common mistakes that sabotage your success when you're trying to change your life or your business. It doesn't matter because you're the same person in life and in business, and you're the same energetic body. And we're going to talk about these 2 levels that most people miss. So what most people think about or focus on is taking action. But as we know from Einstein, whether he said it or not, doesn't matter, but the quote is great. If you are taking action from the same level of consciousness and the same level of energy, you will end up getting the same results. So what you first and foremost need to do is finding that place within, working with the subconscious, with your beliefs, getting all your limiting beliefs out there, plus the energy, your energetic body. That in combination is your extreme advantage to most people because they don't tap into that to up-level your success. And we're going to get deep into these 2 levels by a 5-course menu today for soul aligned change. Are you ready? Let me know in the comments below. If that's a yes, let's go. So first and foremost, the belief. So let's start with the starter. The starter is the most common belief that success has to be a struggle. Success equals struggle. I was so guilty of that. Don't feel bad if you do the same because it's so common. It's how we are programmed in our society. And there's this belief that if it's not hard, it's not real. We are literally, most of us are addicted to grind, to martyrdom, to this belief that I earned this or I have to prove myself in order to be valued. I have to suffer so I can prove that I am of value. But you know what? Success doesn't have to come with this burnout sprinkles, the seasoning at all. In fact, it's the biggest block ever. And there's a mind trick to this. So if you understand or if you get the awareness that this belief lives in the subconscious is 95%, we're not aware of it. And there is a certain loyalty to struggle. Maybe your parents worked very hard. Maybe you've internalized hustle as virtue. But joy and flow are like dangerous, too good to be true. But now the energetic shift is to make yourself aware and focus and train that thought that success is allowed to be delicious. I say it again. My success is allowed to be delicious. And if you want, take pen and paper and write down this affirmation. I give myself the permission to create success with ease, joy, and alignment. Take a deep breath, say it once more. Now really imagine telling that to your inner murderer. I don't know if that's a real word. I don't know if that's the correct word. Like that part of you inside that is really energetically stuck to grinding, to hustle, and heal with these words. Let the energy, that the gunk that comes with it, let it out, breathe, and really internalize that one. Okay, good. Starter is done. Now we get to the appetizer. Another common mistake number 2, that is that especially women have that you have to be ready first in order to take action. Now, any manifestation comes with action. Any result comes with action. But there's this enormous trap. You wait. You wait until you've healed more, gained more clarity, studied more, got more certificates. What else? Let me know in the comments. But clarity is really a byproduct of movement. Clarity is a process. Clarity comes when you try, when you fail, when you understand what works and what doesn't work, and then get better and better each and every single step. Like me, I was the worst online course creator. I created my first online course with Slack with zero preparation. I just invited 4 ladies. I stepped over my fears and I tested it. And it was the worst online course, not in terms of content and in terms of support, but in terms of tech. But I learned through taking the action what tech works for me, what tech doesn't work for me, how little emphasis there is on tech at the end of the day, and even wrote a book on online workshops because I was such a nerd about it. So Rome wasn't built in a day, and without action, you won't get anywhere. It's a very normal subconscious block, to be honest. We don't feel bad here. We're just, raising the awareness so we can shift this together. Fear often is disguised or hidden as perfectionism. Your mind says, well, once I'm ready, I'll go. It's like pushing it into the future every single time you think that. But your soul says, like these nitty-gritty words that are popping into your head, like start now. Like you have this urge, but then your ego pops in and says, not now, later. So who are you going to trust, your soul or your ego? So I want you to use this now as an act of reframing and let's give you opportunities. So what if the act of starting and doing is what makes you ready? And a super quick tool to foster that, because we know where energy goes, energy grows, and we can train that muscle more and more and more, is to ask yourself, what would I do today if I trusted myself 10% more? What would I do today if I trusted myself fully even? Write it down and do it. Now we come to the main course. You're doing great. So the mistake number 3 that most people have, and that are blocking you from your success in your life and business, is ignoring subconscious patterns that plop off, that you actually see, but then you're like trying to shove it under the rug, which is extremely human thing to do, but it blocks you from your success. And most actions are based upon decisions. New decisions, new lives. 95% is unfortunately unconscious. The great thing about it, if you are constantly seeing patterns and realizing that there are patterns, that there are beliefs, that there are habits that you're doing over and over again, they're just showing themselves to you so you can transform them, which is a great thing. What you then need to do, and here it's where most people get super lost and super anxious and super ashamed, which you don't have to be, just change it, is that you shift your loyalty to your old identity to the new identity. The new identity that is maybe the opposite to that old pattern, to that old belief, and put all of your emphasis onto that new version. So for example, classic patterns, especially women, is I can't outshine others. If I step forward, I will automatically take the breath of other people. Or if I succeed, I'll be alone. Very, very common. Because as we were living in tribes back in the days, it was very dangerous to just go away from our tribe that was giving us shelter, giving us food, and just saying, bye-bye, I'll do my own thing. So that is hardwired in our subconscious. And then very commonly, it's way safer to play small. Then I'm liked, then I can fit in, and, I'm not a threat to anybody else's comfort. So the fix is here to make the decision, first and foremost, to make the unconscious conscious, to feel more and more comfortable in finding the patterns, being aware of the patterns gently, and really work with your inner coach, with your inner wisdom. For instance, journal this one prompt. Daily or weekly, doesn't matter. The more you do it, yes, obviously, the more comfortable it gets, but don't become a maniac. Also not healthy. So this one prompt that I can absolutely encourage you to do is asking, if I fully succeeded, what's the worst thing that could happen? And then ask, where does it come from? We're detectives. Whose voice is that? It's probably not yours. This is probably ancestral. In my experience, 90% is ancestral blockages. And here you train yourself really to become more and more aware and then be able to shift that. This is what I call soul detective work. It is so, so powerful and it's playful and super up-leveling. Good. Now we are at mistake number 4. Let's call it the side dish. We're in this menu metaphor still, and that is overlooking energy leaks. There is a big truth that you don't run out of energy. So I have been burnout often. I'm not going to talk about this in this video, probably another time. But when I realized that I was not running out of energy and then needed, a sabbatical or just a weekend off or blah, 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 that totally shifted my reality. I was not running out, I was leaking energy. That is a completely different story. Because when we realize how much we are leaking energy throughout our daily lives, every single day, through people pleasing, through scrolling, through worrying, through saying yes when we actually mean no, we are giving away our most sacred resource, the most sacred resource that we humans have, because we are pure energy. And if we stop the leakages, what happens? You have so much energy to do the things that you're meant to do here, to enjoy here, to live here. So what I would suggest now is that you make inventories. I call them inventories because literally that's all it is. You list the things that are leaking your life force energy. And then you cross off one today, like literally right now, and comment below which one it is and create boundaries for that specific one. And you are gonna be surprised at how much energy you don't need to recreate anymore. You don't need to get breaks in order to build it up anymore because it's just there. And really commit to conserving your power to what lights you up. Because honestly, that's what you're meant to do on this planet, and really feel how much of a difference that makes, because you're probably not tired. I wasn't tired. I was just super misaligned, not creating boundaries to all of the vampires, all of the leakages. And when I fixed that, everything changed. You're doing so great. So the last one is the dessert. The best for last. So the the 5th mistake most people make when they want to change something in their life and business for the better, for their success that they desire and deserve, is that they treat change as a solo sport. There is this myth or this subconscious block that says, I have to do it alone. No, you don't. You were never meant to. And there's this subconscious driver to it that is often tied to shame or hyper independence from past wounds. But here's the truth. Big change needs a big home, community, brave conversations, people who understand. So you're not thinking like you're going crazy because you're losing so much anyways. You're losing so much ground. And having people, community, a tribe, understand what you're going through, or at least that you want to achieve more in life, that you want to taste more in life, is an absolute game changer and will make your process so much easier. And those people who truly understand and come from a heart-centered place, they will be able to not only cheer you on, but also be your mirror. So you can see yourself in their eyes and through their lenses, and therefore learn much, 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 much quicker. So find your chaos crew, like the people who understands, who love your mess, who love every part of you, and cheer for you, cheer you on, cheer for your magic. And you can start small. DM someone who hears you. Maybe also send this episode to a friend and say, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm going through. Do you want to be part of my chaos crew? Are you also like going through this messy stage and we haven't even talked about it? Like sometimes, and this happens to me, especially when I'm in corporate environments, and then we have a workshop or I have a speaking engagement, and then afterwards people tell me how much they've been working on themselves lately or, over the last months, weeks, years, whatever. And then they tell me, but, hush, hush, nobody here understands me and nobody goes through the same thing. And then, minutes after or like an hour after, somebody else of the same team tells me the same. So they both are in the same group, team, literally space. And because they don't talk about it, they don't know that actually they have a true tribe member within reach, like instant reach. So sometimes we have to reach out to people and make the first move. We should. Otherwise, we just stay where we are. What's the worst thing that can happen? Maybe that person isn't into it. So what? Then and then you can focus on other people, and then you at least get the confidence that you've tried there, and then you can try again because fail and error and learn and succeed. So to wrap it all up, your beautiful menu, I hope you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments, is that success really isn't a formula. It's a process, it's inner work and raising your consciousness. Because every time you make that tiny soul-aligned choice shift, you're tuning into the life that's already waiting for you. Because you wouldn't have these glimpses, these soul callings, if that wasn't meant for you and that wasn't already, on your timeline, on your path. So let's recap the menu for sweet and soulful change. First and foremost, let success be easy. Second, so important, stop waiting to be ready. Don't wait for the prince, never coming. Third, upgrade your subconscious belief system, your inner driver. Fourth, plug your freaking energy leaks. And fifth, get support, like real support that actually helps you thrive. If you want to take this deeper, re-listen, journal, share this with your Chaos into Gold crew. If you're part of the Changelicious tribe, you will get your success menu into your mailbox. If you want to become part of the tribe, just click below and get going. Thank you so much for being here, and till soon. That's a wrap on another Changelicious episode where transformation never tasted so good. If your soul's feeling fed, don't forget to follow, leave a love note, aka review, and share the goodness with somebody really ready to flip the script. For more juicy insights and sweet inspiration, follow me, Hedi Schaefer, and let's keep stirring up change that sticks. Until next time, stay real, stay bold, and keep it Changelicious.